What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel, and welcome. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. To all you new subs, welcome. Glad to have you guys here. Lots of cool knife content here, and lots to come. Lots and lots and lots to come. So, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow, get pushed out to more people, so the numbers continue to rise. I also want to let you guys know that I now have a discount code to White Mountain Knives. It's BEDC 10, Bravo Echo Delta Charlie 10. You get 10% off. We all love White Mountain Knives. I do anyway, and I think most people do. Free shipping, no tax. I mean, fast shipping. What more can you ask for, right? And 10% off using your favorite YouTube channel's code. I've always recommended you guys go use Lefties or Tri-States or Neves or someone else's code, but now I have my own you can use. So if you need to pick something up from White Mountain Knives, use my code. It will help support the channel. I don't make any money from it, but my understanding is that as people buy stuff, they'll send me stuff to check out and make content with. So, although I am in no shortage of stuff to make content with at the moment, but it would help the channel. So, thank you guys so much in advance if you use the code at White Mountain Knives. I really appreciate it. With all that being said, welcome to episode 2 of Chopped. This is the one I'm probably the most excited, or was the most excited about when I realized I was going to be making this new series, because I like this knife a lot. I know a lot of people don't like this knife. They say it's got terrible ergos. Oh, this is Jeff's knife, by the way. Thank you, Jeff, for sending this in so I can make this video. I'll link Jeff's Instagram below. Cool guy, great knife collection. Posts a lot of really cool pictures on Instagram, so give him a follow. I really like this knife. It has a couple issues. It's not a pine cone. It's not like holding a pine cone. The pocket clip gets you in the palm pretty. Yeah, it's pretty bad, the pocket clip, but the rest of it really isn't that bad, guys. Yeah, this is not a knife that I would have, if I bought it, which I plan on buying one in the future, that I would have been so terribly disappointed in because of the ergos. I guess different hand sizes may feel differently, but for my hand, I have a medium-sized hand. The ergos on this knife weren't that bad at all, so I really like the knife, actually. So, and I have a review of it, so check that out if you want to, and let's take a look at the chopped variation. This is Craig's knife. Craig sent this off to Blade Chops. Blade Chops did the chop on this. I'll link Craig's Instagram below also, and Blade Chops Instagram. Thank you, Craig, for letting me check these chopped knives out. It's really, really cool. And this one I'm a little torn on. I've already done episode 1 was the Yojimbo 2, and I really like the Yojimbo 2. There's nothing wrong with it, you know what I mean? There's no nothing in the Yojimbo 2 that would make me want to say, oh, I wish this was different. And I don't think Craig felt that either. He's got a few of them and wanted to do something different with one. And it was the Yojimbo 2 is chopped so drastically different that it's like an entirely different knife. You don't even feel like you have the Yojimbo 2 in your hand. This is similar, but not so much. As you can see, the handles were skinnied up quite a bit. If you look under here and then look over here, quite a drastic change happened on the underneath of the handle to skinny them up, and then obviously a huge change on the blade. The rhino horn's no longer there. It just swoops down. And this blade looks just like that Mutineer like I was talking about. But yeah, this one's yeah, I'm torn on this one. I'll explain why in a minute. Let's look at some measurements, and then we will weigh them to see what the differences are, and then I'll tell you what I like about each and what I would prefer. If they were both mine, which one would I prefer and why? All right, the original overall length, let me do it from this side, it'll be easier. Numbers are upside down for you, sorry about that. 6 3/4 of an inch overall length. I don't think that has changed because I'm pretty sure this tip is the same as that tip. Yes, no change in the length. Here's where you're going to see the drastic change. If you look right here, we have an inch and a 1/16 there, thickness to that longest point. And with this one now, in the same spot, we're at like 7/8 of an inch. So we've lost about 3/16 of thickness there. And that's done in a couple of places. It's done back here also. We've lost quite a bit. As you can see, basically all these rounded edges that were done for ergonomics have been removed, and it's more of a neutral handle now. And honestly, it was unintentional that this happened, but what I was telling you about this pocket clip, no matter how I grip it, it stabs me. I guess changing the thickness of this handle changes the way I grip the knife enough to where that pocket clip is not digging into my palm anymore. I can feel it there now, but it's not poking me. I guess because I have to bend my fingers more, which raises my palm up higher, that it's not stabbing me anymore. So, and the ergos are actually, they're really good. I don't feel anything anymore. I can feel the pocket clips there, but it's not a hot spot now. The ergos are much better with the handles like this. No doubt about it. Yeah, no matter what, that gets me, and I don't even feel it on this now. So that's I guess, yeah, that's pretty wild. Because when Craig told me he's doing this, I was like, did you have him round off the corner of the pocket clip? But that was after the fact. It was already done at that point. He's like, no, I didn't, but I probably should have. And maybe not. If his grip's similar to mine, the pocket clip's not an issue anymore with this, which is pretty awesome. And so between the two, I definitely prefer the handle on the chopped version. No doubt about it. Now here's where it gets a little funky for me. A little tricky. This spot looks crazy on this blade, right? I think it actually adds to the aesthetic and gives it that Mad Max in the Armageddon type vibe, post-apocalyptic vibe. I think it looks good, but it also feels like it is made. It was designed for your thumb to land there, and it just feels like it locks you in. Because the way this raises back up here, and your thumb lands there, you feel locked in. It feels really comfortable with your thumb right there. It's like it's meant for your thumb to be there, and it probably is. I'm sure the designer did that on purpose, but you can feel it though. With this one now, without it raising back up, it doesn't feel like that anymore. My thumb's okay here, but I don't feel like I'm locked in now. I feel like I can slide forward much easier. It just doesn't feel like it's made for my thumb to land there now. To where with the original, it's just, yeah, that's where your thumb goes. This is how this knife is meant to be held. It's not meant to be held back here. For me anyway, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's meant to be held just like this. This is the grip this knife was designed what it was designed for when the designer made it. And now, yeah, it just doesn't feel like that anymore. Although back here it is more comfortable because the pocket clip's not getting me. So when I grip back here and use whatever you call this, it's not jimping, but I think it's meant to be for jimping, or it's just for aesthetics. I don't know. But on this one, I can grip it really good right there now. Nothing's poking me over here to where, I don't know what. Yeah, I guess he trimmed these down a little bit right here also below the pivot. Because on this one, that is another spot I can feel. Right there. That corner, believe it or not, when you're gripping like this on that forward finger twirl, that corner gets you right there. It's not terrible. Not like the pocket clip. Pocket clip's terrible. But that corner gets me right there. But my thumb feels fantastic. That corner has been rounded out. See how it doesn't come to a point anymore? You know, that's something they could have done on the original. It'd been an easy fix. It really wouldn't have taken much away from the aesthetics. It's much better done like the way Blade Chops did it here than it is right here. This is not good. And, you know, coincidentally, the pocket clip's no longer a problem. So definitely prefer the handle in the chopped version. Definitely prefer the blade on the original version. Now, let's see what the weight loss was with all the metal, the titanium and steel that was taken out of this knife. How much weight did we lose? That's going to be pretty interesting to see, actually. There's quite a bit of metal removed from this knife. I'd say it lost at least quarter of an ounce, maybe even a half an ounce. All right, the original 4.8 ounces, and the chopped 4.5 ounces. So lost 0.3, third of an ounce. 0.4. Yeah, it's almost stopped on 0.4 last time. So it probably lost a little over a third of an ounce would be what it lost. So you can actually, it doesn't sound like much, but it's noticeable in hand. You can feel the difference holding them. It's definitely noticeable. It feels like, and when it's that noticeable, again, this is one that almost feels like an entirely different knife. With the way this is done here and the handles, and it just almost feels like another model. It's not just a slight you know, change. It's a pretty drastic change. Feels like a different knife. I like them both a lot. And this is where I'm torn. If I could only pick one of these, which one would I pick? Because ergos are my big thing, right? The handle ergos are better here, but my thumb's better up here. I would go with the original. I really would. But I'd go with the original because I'd probably have this filed down a little bit, have this clip rounded out a little bit on the corners, and probably left it at that. I wouldn't change anything else. If I were going to have anything done, just have these two corners right here, because if you're left-handed, the other side's going to get you. But right-handed, that corner gets you on the forward finger choil. That little tip right there, round it off, and this pocket clip, go ahead and do both corners so it looks symmetrical. But round the corners off just a little bit. We're not talking much, talking just a tiny little bit, and it'd be great. So yeah, this one's tricky. This one's tricky. But keep in mind, this is a knife Craig is going to use, right? This isn't bought for the collection. This is going to be a user knife for him now, and so that's pretty awesome. Buy a $420 knife, invest probably at least another $100 into it, and then go out and beat the hell out of it. That's awesome. Love to see that. That's awesome. Good on you, Craig. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. If you guys have had any knives chopped, or you are planning on having a knife chopped, comment below, let me know what it is. And if you've already had one done, which do you like better? Do you like your chopped version better, or was it better before you had it chopped? I'd be curious to see what everyone's doing out there with chops and how it works out. And who did your chop? If it's not Blade Chops, who did it? I'd like to hear. Maybe there's somebody else I should be following on Instagram that does this. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and I will see you on the next one.